Hello, it's me again. Um, I'm going to do a bit of work. I don't know how long it's going to last for. I'm just going to keep drawing until something interrupts me, I think, which might just be myself interrupting myself. Um, so I've nearly finished. Let me switch to this view. I've nearly finished this bit. There's like a tiny gap here which I want to fill with some very mild details. And then I've actually roughed out. I've given myself like a couple of spots here for some letters I'm going to do, which I'll do next. And then, depending if there's any time, I want to draw a measuring tape on here. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Just waiting for my computer to catch up with my commands. Keep up, computer. Again, hope my audio levels are okay. I can see that my voice is just about right. Sorry, I think I will start every stream talking about my audio levels. Anyway, so I'm going to draw a measuring tape over here, and then this is after I've done a little bit of detail here. So measuring tape, maybe I'll do that first, then a couple of letters, and then if there's time, well, this is slightly bigger, it's just basically to finalize the details here, but obviously as this is the rear, I'm not going to go into too much wild detail here, because obviously this is the main point of focus. So yeah, I think so. I'm quite liking where it's going. It's taking forever, but I'm liking where it's going. I'm also deciding how big I want this door frame to be. I think I might want it to be a little... Oh, it's hard to know, really. I might need to do like a black box around this just so I can see what this looks like isolated, because at the moment with this great big expanse of grey, means that I can't quite tell like whether this door frame here is too thick or not. I do want it to be there because it gives like a nice bit of like looking into the room vibe. I am on the fence about the term vibe. It's become such a catch-all. I think it's a bit lazy, but at the same time it does really sometimes, I don't know, work. It's become like the word thing. So I try to use sensibility instead of vibe, or atmosphere, or some other words that are a bit like that. But vibe is kind of, I don't know, it's a bit of a lazy word, I think, sometimes. Anyway, I've just used it, so I'm being a hypocrite. Alright, I better get on with it because I don't know how long I'm going to be working for. Life at the moment is constantly throwing things at me, so I can't ever count on having a huge amount of time. So I'm going to turn that thing off because I know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to work on the little bit of detail down here. What layer is that? I'm sure a lot of people who use Toon Boom do this. I use the transform tool sometimes just to like work out what layer certain bits are on. So that's pointed out to me that that's this MG. I should really know this off by heart, but I don't. I keep forgetting what I've named stuff. So that's clearly the layer that I'm working on. I'm going to work in my standard roughing out dark red. So yeah, I don't want to add too much detail to this because I don't want it to get super busy. It is super busy, so I don't want it to get any more busy. I'm just going to add like a few abstract shapes, a bit like what I've done here. You know, they could just be anything, bits of stuff. So I'm going to do something akin to that over here, maybe like a corner of a box. Just nothing too wild. It's also gives me an opportunity just to warm up because I've come in cold. I was debating, should I do a tiny bit of drawing before I start streaming, because sometimes it's good to warm up a little bit before you dive in head first. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go cold. I'm gonna go in cold. Warming up is out in the cold. Trying to work out, do I do a box which has those sorts of padded corners, a bit like what I've got here, or even here? But maybe, actually, I'll just do a simpler box. I was just saying I wanted it to be less detailed, so yes, I will not be doing the padded corner sort of thing. I'll just be doing like maybe a bit of a lid. I mean, how much is too much? Anything is too much. Potentially. It's World Book Day today, everybody. This is Thursday, the Czech's calendar, 5th of March. So, first of all, happy March. The Ides of March. Happy March, and also happy World Book Day. What's your favourite book? This is like when I become like a real professional streamer. What's your favourite book, chat or YouTube? Leave your opinions in the comment section and or chat. I'm going to try not to talk too much like what do you call it? Like no, I don't want to throw other streamers into I don't want to do that fake voice too much. It's sort of the I'm not taking myself too seriously voice. I don't like how it's maybe a bit lower. I don't like this when I tend to do some illustration. I mean, sometimes you can't help it, but it's where you've got one line just like touching another line like that. I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but in this case, it's annoying me. I think it's something to do about legibility. There is this is another track in Portuguese. Can everybody hear the music? Yeah, what I was trying to say was the idea is not to talk too... I feel like I could easily fall into that trap where I kind of have that presenter voice, YouTuber voice. Again, not all YouTubers speak like this. I think it's just a catch-all term. Oh, it's the second time I've said catch-all today. I'm so unoriginal on stream. I don't even mean catch-all. I mean, it's become like a bit of a pejorative term for that slightly switched on unnatural voice where you're trying to keep the attention of the listener. Hi guys! That kind of thing. I mean, it's effective because I'm sure that really works some people up. But it's not quite the vibe I'm going for here. Oh my god, he's so funny. He said he hated the word vibe, but now he uses it all the time. That's right. That's right. Actually, you know what? I like this, but I'm going to move it back a little bit. Do I redraw it? Why not? Just move it back a tiny bit. I was, what was I watching yesterday? I wasn't watching anything yesterday, actually. Was I listening to something? There was a South African contemporary singer, trio of singers actually, or maybe it was a singer who had some features on their track. I quite liked it. Let me get the name of it. Unfortunately, it was all in, I'm assuming? Actually, I shouldn't assume. I'm not quite sure what language it was in. I know that South Africa has quite a few, apart from English, and Afrikaans has quite a few languages, so I'm not going to assume what language it is singing in, apart from the fact that there are the occasional sentences in English. Okay, so what's the track called? The track is called... It was quite nice, actually. It was very modern. Well, within the last decade, I'd say. And it was called... I'm not going to play it because it's not in my music library. I was just listening to it on YouTube. It's called This might be the artist. Yes, I think this is the artist. Nomfundo Mo, M-O-H. Nom being like nom nom nom, N-O-M. Nomfundo, F-U-N-D-O. Mo, M-O-H. Nomfundo Mo. I think she's quite big. As in, you know, this video I watched had over I think 30 million views. Anyway, the track is either Phakade or Pakade. It's Phakade. Phakade Lami, L-A-M-I. And featuring Shasha and Ami Faku, which I think are the other singers on this track. Anyway, it was quite nice. Very contemporary. And quite chilled out. I was doing the washing up and it came up on one of my various music channels that I subscribe to on YouTube. It's not new. It came out like a few years ago. I say a few years ago, like I think 4 or 5 years ago, but it's very visually good, like really nice visually, and sounds good too. So if you're interested in South African, contemporary South African it was sort of not dance, 100% not dance. I wouldn't say it was R&B either. It wasn't bass music. It was something contemporary. It would be, I think, if it was in the charts, it would be in the R&B charts, or maybe the, I hate this term, urban charts. But I wouldn't have described it personally as R&B. It's more of just a love song, a dreamlike love song. Okay, enough about this track that I'm not even going to play on stream. There's basically no point me playing it because I know, as it's quite big and modern, it won't, even Twitch will mute it after I've put the VOD up, do you know what I mean? So sometimes I just will talk about what I'm listening to rather than play what I'm listening to. It's kind of a shame. It's a shame there's no way we can both excuse me, play any kind of music we want on stream, and also that the musicians whose music is being played get some form of, collateral. I mean, obviously, as I'm doing this for free, I'm not going to be paying them. This is a passion project, what I'm doing. But, passion project. It's like my passion project. But, obviously, if they're releasing music, with a label and all the rest of it, it's not a passion project for them, so they deserve simoleons, buckaroos, pounds, quids. I want to be quids in, mate. I want to be quids in, mate. I've kind of given up on the idea, by the way, of just playing music with no lyrics. I feel like as long as the lyrics, the vocals aren't super intrusive to me talking, then I'm just going to let it slide. There's just too many good albums and mixers and so on for me to just ignore them. Sorry. However, if it does turn out that it is swamping my levels, then I will rethink. I will regroup and I will rethink. I think I might just leave that like that, frankly. Really don't want to go into too much detail. If I made that blue, I think we're okay. So let's do one last little detail like this. This almost sounds like something Josh Homme would sing. Him off of Queens of the Stone Age. Now, have I actually done myself a disservice there and made it too detailed? He's done himself a total disservice and he's made it too detailed. The guy, he's done himself a total disservice because he's just made it too detailed. Oh, computer, that's what the computer thinks too, because it's just slowed right down. Computer's like, Tom, I think you need to rethink this. You need to regroup. Let's see, what happens if I take that out actually? I'm gonna leave it in for now. I'm still actually even considering if I need that there, frankly. Let's take it away. Yeah, you know what? That is too detailed, you see? It is a real sort of like, there needs to be something here, but it needs to be so subtle. Maybe not even have an outline, but I'll do the outline just so that then I can do maybe a fill and remove the outline later. But not the box like that. No, I've decided against it. Maybe... Let's have a look. I'm going to look around my own desk for inspiration. This is what I do sometimes. It's desperate times. Maybe... It's not a box. What else have we got in here? I might just do something really, really abstract. Let's say, I'm just going to do a couple of random subtle shapes. Okay, let's see, and maybe that'll work. So I'll go back to this colour. Actually, no, you know what, I'll stick to the blue just so I can kind of get the balance idea. Apparently there's some kind of eclipse happening soon. I'm not even sure if we'll be able to see it here on the UK South Coast, but it was something that came up on my news feed, on my news wire. Something about eclipse. Lunar eclipse. Not a solar eclipse, but a lunar eclipse. What's the difference, you ask? Well, a solar eclipse is when the moon gets between the sun and the earth, so you get that wild halo effect. And everything goes dark for a fraction of a second. And no doubt is the more spectacular of the eclipses. No offense, lunar eclipse. Now what's a lunar eclipse? A lunar eclipse is when the Earth's shadow is cast on the moon. So you get like a ring of the moon, which is also spectacular, but not quite as spectacular as a solar eclipse. Yeah, this is looking a bit more like what I was thinking about. Just some abstract shapes. Just to give the idea that there's something behind here. There we go, something like this. Just keeping it cash. Keeping it cash. We're keeping it cash. No, it's too busy like that. Mirror view this, that sometimes helps. I think what I'm going to do is just have this a little more acute. And then maybe just one little circle shape here. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to draw that measuring tape thing on top of another box under the desk workbench. I keep calling these desks, and they are really supposed to be workbenches. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Wonder if this is even needed, this line here. Probably not, you know. Have you ever had it where, I don't know how often you listen to mixes, as in music mixes, but have you ever had it where you're maybe listening to a music mix and you kind of guess, not with any intention, but you sort of are listening and you hear, okay, I need to rephrase this. So sometimes I'll hear a track and it's coming to the end of the track, so the DJ is going to play the next track. Okay, this is how mixes work, everybody. And I think oh, this beat would go really well into the next track I'm thinking of. And guess what? That's exactly what gets played. So you and the DJ are on the same LP side. And when I say that, I mean page. Has that ever happened to anybody? I'm trying to think if it's ever happened to me. I suppose if you listen to enough mixes, it's bound to happen at some point. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that, I think. It's very difficult sometimes for me to gauge what's too much. Much too much, but I think that's it. I literally think I just nailed it there. Holy moly, he nailed it. I don't actually know if I've nailed it, but I'm going to leave it for now. I feel like something needs to be here between these two. Probably doesn't, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, now that's that. Let's hit save. Control S. Okay, let's now move on to the next thing on the menu. Oh, hold on, let me just take those bits and put them on the right layer before I carry on with the next thing. The tape measure on another box. Cut. Paste in place. There we go. Alright, back to the overlay layer to rough out a measuring tape. Now, I guess what I'm going to work out is whether I want it to be like a measuring tape that's your classic tailor measuring tape, you know, the type where it's just a rolled up ribbon, or whether I'm going for the builder / tradey measuring tape where it's you know, the type which retracts out of a case. I think I'm going to go for the tailor style measuring tape, because if this is like a puppet making workshop alike, more and this bit's like all the fabric end of things, so if you're dealing with stitching and fabric and that malarkey, I think you're using more of a tailor's measuring tape. A tailor's tape. So that's what am I gonna do? Oh goodness me, that was embarrassing. I don't want to be known as the person who does all the embarrassing, like, office funny guy voices. You know, there's like always in the tropes of sitcoms and sketch shows, there's always that character, the office buffoon, who does all the silly voices. A little bit like a less narcissistic version of David Brent, that kind of person, you know, who's always doing the voices, making his office co-workers uncomfortable. Anyway, I don't want to do those sorts of voices on my stream. Oh, hey guys. This is a very big measuring tape. In fact, I think it's a bit too big. What am I doing? if I look at these rulers here, then this is like a massive measuring tape. And I'm sure you do get massive measuring tapes, even for the tailor. I mean, if you're measuring up a suit for, like, I don't know, a team of basketball players, you probably do need a very long measuring tape. Oh, I have to take this call. Sorry, everybody. I'm back. Sorry about that. There's a small chance I'll be leaving shortly, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, now, with that in mind, let's at least try to get this measuring tape done. Non-stop excitement on this one. On this stream, am I right? You know, me getting phone calls? Unbelievable. Okay, that is looking roughly right to me. What I might do is just have it a little bit lower on this side. just to keep that perspective. Man, this guy's wailing on the saxophone. I say guy. That's some big assumptions from me. This saxophone player, this player is wailing on the saxophone right now. Yeah, that's better. That's more in keeping with the perspective of the box. Cool. Okay. Now what? Well, now we turn it into a measuring tape. Now we turn this circle into a measuring tape. Next time, maybe to be really intriguing, although I'd be worried about it'd be a bit weird, I think, actually, but maybe next time if I was to take a call in the chat, rather than go off screen to my right, I just do that so you can still see me talking, but you can't actually see what I'm saying. No, I wouldn't do that. That is not a good move. What happens if I start weeping, you know what I mean, or laughing hysterically? I mean, the fact that I'm even taking calls on the stream is a little weird, frankly. But it seems a bit odd to just end the stream briefly if I know that the call's not going to last very long. What time is it? 3 o'clock, okay. Sorry, I'm fully focusing now, so I'm not being very chatty. This is the thing, I'm gonna have to just let that go sometimes, as long as people watching don't mind if I'm occasionally very, very quiet and boring. More so than usual. Now if I do this, just so I can work out where the middle is roughly. Is that right? No, that doesn't look right at all. It's because I've not done this in the middle. Something, anyway, somewhere here. Well, this is kind of amazing. Slow dancing to the Star Trek theme. I really hope this was somebody's first wedding dance. I'll tidy this up a little bit more in a second. I mean, it looks, to be honest, more like just tape, as in the adhesive tape at the moment, but I will be adding some details to it, so that will not be the case for much longer. Say, wait, hold on, where do I want the tape to flop down? Maybe more on this side. Trying to work out what would be the most natural way for this to twist. What would be the most natural way for this to twist? It would be surely for that bottom. Something possibly like this. I prefer how I just had it, except I just need to make this look a bit more curled to the other side. I'm not being particularly chatty right now, I do apologise. Is this still the star trekking song? I can't quite tell. I think we've moved on. I think we may have moved on from the Star Trek song. The Star Trek slow dance. I could be wrong. I just want there now to be a sample of Leonard Nimoy going like, "This song has been excellent and groovy. Live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy." Now, Leonard Nimoy, he has passed, hasn't he? He's still not kicking it as far as I'm aware. Unfortunately, that man has passed, right? I am right about that. This one's a bit sexy. Is this one R-rated? Is this one too R-rated for the stream? We're going from vague innuendo to straight up filth. No, I think we may still be in the innuendo phase. Oh dear. Okay. We are moving well into explicit lyrics here, guys. Come on, do you want to ride? Should I even be pointing this out? I mean, I do make it very clear on all my streams that they are not intended for children, so, you know, we're all adults here, ostensibly. So I'm sure you can appreciate the artistry and ignore the smut. Just absolutely explicit at this point, isn't it? I'm hoping that was loud enough that everybody had. Minnie Riperton could be talking about anything when she says, "Will you come inside me?" Hello, Nate. It's been a long time. How are you doing? I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming for, by the way, but I appreciate you coming on just to say Minnie could be singing about anything at all. I didn't realise she was quite so smarty. Hi, that's great. That's good to hear. I am currently really over egging this bit of tape here, and I need to move on because I feel like I'm stuck in a bit of a drawing loop here. I think I could probably just leave it at that, frankly, for now. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, you know, goodness me, a lot going on. Just got to kind of keep it together. But yeah, no, good considering. Sorry, I feel like I'm trying to be professional. I need to read out what you've typed here. So you've said about the Minnie Riperton thing where she's absolutely not talking about shagging. Then you've said, hello, doing good, which is great to hear. And then you've written to me, hoping same for you, in which case I'm replying, yes, it is going well for me. This is all in benefit for, you know, people who aren't necessarily looking at the chat. Yeah, I'm hoping with Twitch streaming to just have like a bit of an outlet, and also, funnily enough, I'm finding that by streaming, although occasionally talking when drawing does slow me down, actually it's helping me with not like getting distracted, if that makes sense. Like the only distraction is the fact that I'm chatting, but because I'm not suddenly just going to whip my phone out or whip anything out for that matter. Oh, Minnie Riperton, you've really done something to my brain right now. It just means like I'm just focusing on the drawing, because that's why I'm here. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping I can keep this up for a bit. For a long bit. I was speaking to a couple of people who have done the like drawing whilst streaming thing, and they had a few tips for me. I think where I'm quite lucky is that I can talk pretty much about anything. Half of it is totally inaccurate, but even so, sometimes I find it hard to concentrate and talk. It's not like I think I'll ever be completely lost for words, so there is that in my favour. And also, and this is going to sound so knobby and pretentious, but I've also been told that the timbre of my voice is not too offensive. So say if people are listening to me my voice doesn't, for better or worse, doesn't, it's really level. Does that make sense? I don't know. So maybe that's a couple of reasons why I'm trying it out. God help me. Okay, so yes, I think this needs to be a bit more in the middle, but I think I'm happy with this measuring tape. I mean, the idea is I'm going to have 1 million subscribers by September, which is completely doable, right? 1 million subscribers, and each one of those subscribers will be paying me the maximum amount that you can on Twitch. It's bound to happen. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. That's what I've been told. I've been told this by professionals. Man, I cannot stop tweaking this bit. Okay, let me just do it like this. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I don't like doing it this way, but I'm going to give myself a break. Oh my goodness, which anchor point is it? Too many anchor points. Is it that one? Yes, it is. Okay. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's put some details on this thing. Not too many, just a few. I was not expecting this kind of almost gated snare on this track. There's almost something slightly Thundercat-y about this one, with that sorry, YouTube. I have to. This is my little YouTube announcement that I need to do every stream. You cannot hear any of this because it is not on the YouTube audio channel, and furthermore, because this is a mix, you can't even see what the track's called, and I don't know what this track is called, so I'm not helping you at all. But what I can tell you is it has got a certain Nate's saying all the rich benefactors are right around the corner for sure. Gotta run, but hopefully catch some more of your streams soon. Thank you so much, Nate, and yeah, have a good rest of your day. And yeah, Minnie Ripperton, what a dirty individual. But we always knew that about her, didn't we? Frankly, it's not a secret. Phew, now that guy's gone. He was stinking up the place. No, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. There we go. Okay. I have to take into account that there is like a slight twist here. A real plot twist. I think if let's have a look, if I take out this bit which is underneath the countertop, then yeah, I think we're okay. Again, there's no point going into crazy detail, although you know what, I'm going to do one thing, and that is just ever so slightly nudge it over for the sake of balancing it out. There we go. Rich benefactors. That is exactly what I need. So if you are a rich benefactor, I am not a rich benefactor. So without spelling it out, I mean, if I have to spell it out, no, I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. What layer is this? Where am I seeing this little... Oh, that's the same layer. Okay, so... Must be this one. There's like a little... There it is. A tiny little bit of blue that needs to get the heck out of there. Okay, I'm going to leave that measuring tape alone for now because... I'm definitely... What's it called? Gilding the lily here. Yeah, what I was saying earlier, I've been told I have a slightly ASMR voice. I don't know if that's true, especially when I occasionally put on stupid, totally inappropriate voices. So I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum. Oh, look at that. I've got music playing, but for whatever reason, it's not saying what's playing. Let's have a look. What's happened? What's crashed? I feel like this plugin, it's called Tuner, has crashed. Let's see if it'll work now. There we go. Oh, don't you hate it when a plugin crashes? What time is it? It's 15:44. I have been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, let's see if I do this. I'm going to work a little bit on these letters before I clock off. I think I like this measuring tape. I can't quite tell if I'm frank, if I'm honest. See, that goes like that, so I think we're all right. I think we're all right. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Leave it alone, Tom. Just leave it alone. Cool. All right. Maybe what I need to do is just like that. Yeah, just like a tiny bit of a mark there. Is that too much? That is too much. Leave it like that. Okay, cool. All right, let's do these letters. What layer is that? That is layer... a low layer. Right, fine, we'll do it this way. There it is, rough floor letters. Cool. Nice. So if I move these to the underlay layer. Need a drink. I need a drink after that. If I was a professional streamer, is this when I would say something like, and you can buy me a coffee by pressing the money button. Bits, tips, whatever the YouTube equivalent is. I didn't expect any of this. Oh, my doorbell's gone. Just bear with me. Hello. That was a delivery for my significant other. My S.O. Alright, let's see what letters. So we've got N, we've got S, we've got D, we've got G, we've got Y, I, N, or U, T, Q, L, W, E, R. What are we missing? We are missing an A. Oh wait, but I don't want to do A because we've got A, B, C. So it's none of those ones. We've got D, B, C, D, E, we've got E, F. F looks like E from this angle, so not that. F, G, we've got G, H, no, not H, I we've done, A, B, C, G, H, I, J. Could do a J. We could do a J, maybe. J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Just going through the alphabet now. Q, R, S, T. What did I say I was maybe going to do? J. Yeah, I think maybe we do the letter J. And I think it's going to be the bigger letter. It's going to be the one which is closer to the camera. Now, is this the right perspective? I think it is. I think it is the right. I mean, right enough. Do you know what I mean? So let's do a J. J for justice. Now, is it a J that has the bar at the top like a T? Is it like this kind of a J, or is it this kind of a J? I'm going to go for this kind of a J. The one with the bar on top. Very atmospheric music. Sorry, YouTube. But there is some very atmospheric music playing. I really ought to look into it, actually. You know what, I'm going to do that after this stream if I've got a minute. I'm going to look into the music playing policy on a like a channel that's not for profit. No, that's not the right term. I'm not looking for although, oh man, I just think YouTube's quite strict with music, unfortunately. I'll have a look, but I get the feeling there's no wiggle room when it comes to playing music on the old YouTube, so forget about it. I'll have a look, but I really am pretty sure they don't tolerate it in the slightest. So that's that. Which is, I suppose, why in that regard Twitch is better. Even so, Twitch is quite limiting unless you're like over a certain level of viewers, and or paying, for like a more boosted account, which I'm not doing because this is still early days and I'm not sure if people want to watch. So I'm not going to outlay that money until I'm a bit sure, like have a bit more confidence in the appeal of it. But yeah, if you're on YouTube right now and you want to hear the music that hasn't been audio that hasn't been blocked, that's the other wrinkle in the equation. Oh wait, what about if I do more of a J like that? No, I prefer the J like this. For some reason I'm hearing Marlon Brando. I'm assuming I'm not going crazy and that is part of the track. And that is Wally Bardou, I think, playing in the background. That beat. Bizarre. For YouTube, there is a bit of a kind of sound collage going on in this part of the stream, and I'm hearing an Italian dialogue from a film, I'm assuming. Sounds like a B movie. I could be wrong. But there's also Marlon Brando as Colonel Kurtz from, Apocalypse Now, is it? Just saying the word Saigon over and over again in a very gravelly voice. Saigon. I watched a snail. Was it a snail? On a knife? And now I'm hearing a beat of a drum in one ear. Oh my, this is a very confusing soundscape. Who does this Toulouse-Lautrec think he is? Very psychedelic. Well, it was very psychedelic. Actually, it wasn't that psychedelic. It was, experimental, was it? Even experimental? It was something. I'm still hearing Italian. You know what I think? I think this needs to be a bit wider. A bit more like that. Now, Brando, as a surname, last name, that is Italian, surely. Brando, right? Brando. Where else could that be from? I think because he plays a character of Polish descent in A Streetcar Named Desire, for some reason my brain always thinks he's Polish. I'm half Polish, by the way. But I don't think he is. Like Marlon Brando, the person. Is he? I'm assuming he has some Italian heritage with his last name being Brando. But Polish? I don't know. That was the other thing I discovered about Nick Cage, is that he, I believe, is half American Italian, half American Polish descent too, I think. So is Marlon Brando the same? And does Nicolas Cage think he is the next Marlon Brando? I've not watched any of the newer Nicolas Cage films, the ones he's been doing sort of over the last decade or decade and a half, where it's all a bit more meta and he's sort of often playing himself. I mean, he's always playing himself, but actually is Nicolas Cage not a character? Supposedly. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine, dude. And I think even if I'll close this up. A bit like that. I don't need to go into massive detail on this bit because it's behind the border of the image. So I'll just sort of close it up roughly. Hello? Hi? Hi? Hello? Yes? Oh, sorry, YouTube. There is now somebody. This has gone back to this soundscape sort of thing. Maybe I need to change the music because it's being a little distracting. It's just somebody going, hello? Hello? So maybe I do need to actually, for the last letter that I'm going to do before I log off, I might just put some bona fide music, none of this what do you call it, mix stuff. You know what, this is a bit too wide actually is it? Hold on, bear with me. If that is that dense, oh no, maybe it's alright. However, it might need to actually come down just a tiny bit, like that. There we go. Same goes for you. Oh, I should say, because he was in the chat, Nate More Bikes has a really, I should have said this when he was online. You see, this is where I'm not being very professional. He has a really funny Instagram. I think he still has it. And has a load of, just really funny little strips. Some of them are one or two cells, and some of them are a bit longer, but yeah, if you aren't following Nate on Instagram, you will be. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that when he was online. But you see, the fact that I'm doing it now, when he's long gone, just goes to show you that I mean it. I'm not just saying it to butter him up. Because he probably won't even be watching this as a VOD. Who's got time for that? Hopefully you do if you're watching on a VOD right now. Yeah. Oh right, I was changing the music. Honestly, this is not what I want to be listening to right now. I like listening to this sort of stuff when I'm not streaming, but it is not streaming appropriate because it is just quite quite abstract, a little bit intense. So let me do that. Okay. My stylus nearly ran away from me. Okay, let's have a quick look at what I can play next. Actually, you know what? I won't do that. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to hit Shift M. There we go. So you can look at that whilst I'm looking for music. Yeah, this is no good. Stop. It's no good for a stream, guys. What shall I play for the next, what time is it? Half an hour or so, 25 minutes. I don't want to keep going back to the same stuff I play every stream. So let's go back. I'm going through, because I've got how I've set up my Jellyfin, is I've got it so every album I have added, it's chronologically from most recent added to least recent added. So I'm just going back on my pages. No, that'd be a bit intense. I wouldn't mind playing something that's also a bit more upbeat. Let's see. Do I want to play something new? Do I want to play something old? This is good, isn't it? No, not going to play that. Not going to play that. I'm not going to play any David Bowie. I like David Bowie. Oh, here we go. I'm going to play Wind, a 1986 album by, Gigi Mason, who was is an Italian ambient artist. And I know that he used to be a postman as well. So he kind of earned his bread and butter money being a postman whilst making music. And I think he's been sort of rediscovered recently, and so now he's able to be a full-time musician, which is great. Like, good for him. So I'm going to play Wind. Yeah, okay, cool. There we go. Right, now I just need to work out what's the next letter. So, J. I could do a K, although is that too similar to the Y? I don't think so. I'm leaning towards K. You know what I'm going to do as well? Actually, before I even do that letter, I've decided I'm going to do that thing I was talking about, where I'm going to make a black border kind of thing. I think there is actually a way to do this in... Oh, what have I done there? What's that? Reset all transformations. Oh no, did not mean to do that. No, I thought there was a... Is there a way to do it where top light? No, this is all to do with sort of transformations and stuff. Flatten. No. I don't want to do any of that. I'm just going to old school it and make a black border. Wait, does this do anything? What does this do? Paste mode? No, none of that. Screw it. I'm just going to do it how I was going to do it. So make a... What's the quickest way of doing this? It would be to do this. Oh, new layer. Let's do black. What would you call it? Black. Oh, I've forgotten all the animation terms for this sort of stuff. I'm just going to call it black overlay. All right, deal with it. black overlay and close. So then I can go, zoom out please, thank you, just make it big enough, like this, right, then go to my fill layer, then send the line work, yes, create color art line work stuff, done. Then back to my line work. Oh, in fact, even my oh wait, I've done this on the wrong layer. Cut, put that on the line work layer, do that. Now double check, yeah, it's there, okay, delete my line work, go to this. I want to copy this, paste it, and then transform it so that it fits this just right, just so, because basically I want to be able to see how this looks, what I've done so far, without all the grey around it, do you know what I mean? Okay, and then we go to fill, high fill, and we do this. This should work. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Lock that layer so I don't accidentally select it. Back to my letters. There we go. Back to my overlay, which is what I was doing my roughs on. Right, now if I do Shift M, or actually go out a little bit, there we go. See, now I can kind of see what works and what doesn't work, and more importantly, whether this door needs to be expanded, and I think it does, you know. Yep. Or maybe I don't need to, maybe I can just expand the whole thing. Oh, yes, this was the first G.G. Mason track I heard, I think, Tears of a Clown. I think it was like in some mix years ago, and there was something really hypnotic and nice about it. So if you're on YouTube right now and you've never heard G.G. Mason's Tears of a Clown track, do yourself a favour. If you're into ambient piano, I'm thinking what I actually do is, okay, what I need to do, you know what, I did mess up a little bit. I should have done the black overlay above my peg for the whole thing. There we go, you see, now that's all, it's all wrong now. Okay, but that's okay, we can move it. We can move it. Go to the color layer, select it all. Just, yeah, there we go, cinch it over. But you can see I need to, can I reset the transformation on just this? Oh, it hasn't had a transformation. Okay, well, it's about to get one. It's about to get a transformation because I messed up by doing it, by drawing this within a transformation peg. Okay. 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 There we go. Alright. Totally rescued it. Alright. Lock that there again. Right, now what I can do is, rather than have to literally guys, I'm just going to what's over here? What is over here that when I do this, when I do this, what's here? There's obviously something here. There's probably some like little bits of vector or something over there. Anyway, no, I need to get rid of that. What is going on? What is here? Hold on, let me do this. What's that? What's that? What is that? There's apparently on rough room middle ground, right? Let's go to line work. That needs to go. Yeah, look, there you go. There's the culprit right there. Delete. Thank you. Anything else? No. Alright, so now hopefully if I go back to my main peg. Perfect. I mean, there's also something here apparently. Oh my god, what are you doing to me? Toon Boom. Alright, let's find that. It'll probably be the same layer. How much do you want to bet it's the same layer? Yes, it is the same layer. Of course it's the same layer. Alright. What have I got here? Another little scrap. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, now. Back to this. No, that's not my peg. That's my peg. Hooray. Okay. I'm gonna just expand it a little bit that way. Let me zoom in because I can't actually see when this comes up. How far, how high I can go. Let me turn this off so I can see exactly what I'm doing. There we go. Right. Was it like that I had it? I think it was something. Oh wait, no, it couldn't have been because I've not. It's probably something like this. Oh no, maybe it was a bit lower. I'm gonna keep it like that, I think. Yeah, I think at least that's how I want it now. Because I only want it to be like ever so subtle, the door frame. Okay, let me turn this back on. Move this along a little bit. I still kind of want that C to be roughly in the middle. So I think something like that is actually better. Yeah, okay, cool. You know, sometimes you just got to keep jiggling it around. That's what she said. No, I'm not gonna go down that whole that's what she said stuff. That is, again, a bit like the embarrassing co-worker doing stupid voices thing. That is not the vibe, the sensibility of this here channel. If you want that, you can go somewhere else. Okay, back to this. Back to 1. Back to K. Oh, I decided this is going to be the letter K? I think I have. One thing, I think I just, with this, want to just have it a bit more like... Oh man, come on. Bit more like that. Oh, what did I do? I think it was just auto-saving. Yeah, that's better. Although actually, the irony is, you're not even going to see that bit, so I don't know why I'm fussing. I know I'm fussing because it gives me a better idea. It's good for me to have it right. Sometimes, even if you can't see something, it just helps sort of world build so that I can judge other things in perspective, you know, everything being roughly to the right perspective helps you judge other bits and pieces, because you're kind of using everything as a guide in that regard. I think everything I just said there made a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I do like this album. He, I believe, as in Gigi Mason, also is in a band, Gaussian curve, that's the one, with his son, no less. I think it's his son that's also in the band, which is very cute, isn't it? Don't you think? If you're in a band with your dad, I'm assuming they have a respectful relationship. Cool. Alright. Moving on to that next letter. What time is it? Oh goodness, I've nearly been streaming for 2 hours, so yeah, I need to get on with it. I think I can allow myself like another 15 minutes, and then I gotta go. So, the letter K, right? I'm pretty sure I want to do the letter K now. Which way do I want it to point? Maybe I do it sort of backwards. So that is to say that the upright of the K is here. Right, that seems about right. Yeah, I don't think I've gone too wide, have I? Or have I? Maybe I have. No, I haven't. No, I think we're okay. I might just look, I'll just do that much. I'll thin it out by that much, just in case. Okay, so I'm going to do the type of K where the lower diagonal is connected to the upper diagonal. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So not like this, that kind of like rune style K, but rather this sort of more, I'm sure this has a name, more sophisticated K. That's what I am, because I'm Nola spelt with a silent K, so that makes it a very sophisticated K. Wait, so let me hold on. Speaking of sophisticated, okay, so that goes from the middle-ish to the top. Thing is, I don't know if I need the whole width of this little guide I've given myself, so I'm gonna go like that. And then, so if that's that, then that means that's going to be roughly like that. So that is basically as far as I want to go with the bottom diagonal. Okay. So that goes, it's not quite halfway, it's sort of like 2/3 of the way up, roughly speaking. So about here. Like it's almost like it would, yeah, sort of attach to that. So if we go like that, I think. Something like that. Like as if, you know, if it went to carry on, it would connect to here. I think that's it. And then if we do that, oh no, not quite like that. So there. So then we can go up. Yeah, alright, because then that would carry on there. Amazing. See, I know my type. That's a double entendre, a bit like Minnie Riperton earlier on. Do you think she did many double entendres about type conventions? I really hope so. I really do hope so. Oh! We've got a, according to chat, a likely ban evader, so you're not going to evade this ban. Ban! And that was Educated Seascape ASAP. It's quite poetic, actually. Some of these bot names are quite poetic. Okay, we got Gigi Mason actually singing now. I've also noticed that this is wrong for how I'm doing the rest of the letters. I'm only doing the horizontal lines. I'm not doing any of the verticals. Unless they're on the edge. Now here's a tricky one. I don't think we see any of the like 3D depth on this bit, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, there we go, there's a K. Does that look right? Oh, I'm getting another call. Just going to pause. Sorry guys, I may have to leave after this. Hello. Alright, I do have to go now. So I will double check everything later on, maybe this evening. I don't know if I'll do it on stream though. But yeah, I have to go. But you know, got some of it done today, so that's good. I think this needs to be a little bit thicker. But yeah, I have to go now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And I may be on tomorrow, I may not be. All depends on what I have to do. We're still doing a bit of DIY to a room, and I probably have to go out to do some chores, this, that and the other, but hopefully I can find a minute to stream. But I will probably just do a little bit of tidying up on this thing in the evening, but I don't know if I'll be streaming that. I might do. Just thickening these up because they look a bit on the thin side. But yeah, I will see you all next time. I can probably get rid of these guides actually. Let's do that. Goodbye guide. And goodbye guide. Perfect. Alright. In fact, you know what? Now that I've gotten rid of that guide, I'm just gonna cinch this one down a tiny bit. Something like that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to double check the perspective and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, something here which I'm wondering if that just needs to come out a bit more. It's exactly what I shouldn't be doing right now. Maybe have it a bit more like that. Absolutely over egging this pudding. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Okay, cool. Alright. Alright, well, there you go. That's what it's looking like at the moment. I think actually also, back to those letters. Last thing, I promise, is just to shift that over a bit like that. I may need to even make it a little bit smaller. Okay, alright, I'm going to leave it at that. Leave it like that. Leave it at that. Leave it like that. Okay, thanks everybody for watching, and see you next time for another thrilling installation of me drawing. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Bye!